All right, it's Mike's with Mike's podcast. Gun control.
Gun control.
Gun control. Guns don't kill people. I do.
Bullets do.
Bullets. Here, I'm gonna scoot over
Guns
a little
innocent.
bit this
Yeah,
way.
let's do that.
Let's do that. Shift over a tad here. Yes, we're amateurs and we can't even get our video lined up correctly.
Our cameraman's not working real
You
good
know where,
tonight.
Yeah.
You get it fucking straight, man.
Come on.
It's actually a squirrel.
Now, see, that looks good right there.
Looks good, except
Yeah.
for our fucking ugly faces. So obvious topic to cover since all we've been doing is Bears podcasts. So something for the non-sports people out there.
We're going from one depressing topic to the next.
Yeah. This one a bit more depressing, but
There are non-sports people out there?
there are non-sports people out there. It's not their number one thing that they like. Some people out there, number one thing they like is guns.
Guns.
I personally enjoy guns.
I like guns.
I like hunting.
I do too.
I like fucking off shooting around once in a while.
I just like shooting at shit.
Yeah. You know what I don't like shooting at is crowds of people.
I'm still gonna make those ballistic gel molds, man, with like the
Really?
yeah.
That's gonna be so fun.
That'll be awesome. We're gonna have to do a podcast of us just shooting at these like ballistic gel molds, man.
I think so.
Yeah.
The listeners might. We have to find a way to bring down the sound.
We
of the
could even
guns.
dress them up with like wigs and shit like that and stuff.
Yeah. Well, you know, like, I think
Oh yeah.
like people we know or like.
No,
Maybe
we
like
don't. No, we're not
pull-
targeting real people. We're not saying we advocate shooting real people, but it's a fun target to like shoot at.
I think people are on the fence like, well, where are they going to go with this? It's like, well, we need more fucking mass shootings, goddamn it.
Okay, well then I'll make one that looks like the Toxic Avenger or something like that.
Okay, that's better. That's better. So, in light of the Vegas tragedy, we thought we'd talk a little bit about guns.
We're gonna politicize the shit out of this.
Yeah, I don't know how much more it could be politicized, but
Oh, it turns into a shitstorm, political shitstorm every fucking time.
yeah, it's
Every
no one
time.
can wait.
Ban
just
everything.
a few days
Ban
just
everything.
to mourn and reflect on how bad that sucks for the people involved. But everybody's just got to go right for the fucking throat on it.
Well, and that whole Vegas thing, I don't care about the guns. I'm more concerned of like what went through this. This whole is just so batshit insane and mysterious, and just it's like what would drive somebody to do that? Number one, because I know tons of people with guns who would never shoot a person in their life unless they were like defending themselves,
Right.
type of thing. Like they would never go out of their way to harm anybody. And you got this guy who just sits in that whole thing is just real wacky, and then you got the law enforcement and everybody coming out. We don't know what's going on with this. Like, whoa! And then you got the people come out of the woodwork, ban all guns. Well, that's never gonna work.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, what real regulations that could be passed would have stopped this guy?
Nothing, not a goddamn thing.
I mean, sounds like he was a fucking psycho or something. But I mean, he didn't have a criminal record, right? So
No,
didn't have a mental health record.
no, not that we know of.
Not that we know of. Yeah, who
We'll
knows?
never know of.
Yeah, we don't. I mean, who knows? Who knows what it could be? Who knows what that could be? But personally, I would say that me and Mike, Billy, I don't know about you, Billy, but I don't think any additional regulations on guns is really going to do much.
No, because this had nothing to do with. This is not. I'm honestly believe this is not a firearms issue. This is far from a firearms issue. This is something. This is a wacky person issue.
Yeah.
This is a person who, even if they didn't have firearms and was wanting to kill a lot of people. There's a great example of this is back in the 20s. A guy, one of the greatest massacres in U.S. history was actually a schoolhouse back in the 20s, and I think it was in Oklahoma. I don't remember the exact city and state and stuff like that. But this guy had actually rigged in the basement of this schoolhouse to blow it up. He ended up killing a bunch of kids and stuff like that. No firearms involved, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing but like just basic, I don't know if he used like fertilizer and used the boiler down there, in the schoolhouse and stuff like that. But it was one of the greatest massacres in U.S. history. And I wish I should have like did a little bit of research if I knew we were talking about this.
We're doing this on the
actual
fly.
thing.
We're doing it on the fly.
We're doing it on the fly, but you can look it up. I mean, it's out there. I'm not feeding anybody a line of shit.
Right.
But he actually blew a schoolhouse up and killed a bunch of people, a bunch of kids, a bunch of teachers, stuff like that in the 20s, and it had nothing to do with guns. The guy was just a legitimate fucking wacko. So when a wacko wants to hurt somebody or wants to kill somebody, they're going to do it whether they have a gun, a knife, a can of gasoline, it doesn't
Yeah.
fucking matter. So what do? You start banning everything?
Yeah, there's a lot more destructive methods to kill people than
Yeah.
automatic or semi-automatic weapons.
Look at all the bullshit in Europe with the trucks of peace that go on. You know, you get some fucking crazy, Islamic extremist or whatever it is who rents a rider van and goes and drives it through a crowd of people. What are you going to do? Then you're going to ban rider trucks? Are you going to make everybody do a background check to drive a fucking vehicle now?
Right. And then everybody says, well, the only reason those guns are manufactured is to kill people.
No.
Well, most of those guns that are owned have never killed anyone or been pointed at a person. There's a lot of recreation that goes on to it. Actually, there's a lot of shit that gets paid for via taxes on what is it, like subsidies of gun sales and ammunition sales and things like that. So if you do ban a lot of stuff, you're taking away a lot of tax revenue, and I don't think you're fixing the problem at all.
Guns are just an inevitable byproduct of what would be considered a violent world. I mean,
When
it's
you're violent. Human beings are violent people.
Every species in the world is violent at some level. You have, you see two cats fighting over territory. You see a bull in a field will mark his territory, and if another bull comes in there, he'll go charge after it because that's his herd. We want to think that us as humans, we have a higher level of intellect and capacity to make decisions and rationalize things and try to do things differently other than our instincts. But we are still driven by a lot of instinctual things. Protect ourselves, defend ourselves. I mean, we still have a fight or flight type of thing. So in that whole context, we over time have developed things to defend ourselves, but just as everything that is developed in this world, it is a double-edged sword. It can be used for a good purpose and it can be used for a bad purpose.
Yeah. Technology in general. Overall, I would say good.
Oh, yeah,
but
technology-
It can be used for
Yeah.
terrible things.
I mean, look at the internet. You
Right.
can either look at cat pictures or you can look at midget porn. I mean,
Right.
it's good thing, a bad thing. I
I'm
mean,
definitely leaning
it's-
more toward the midget porn on that spectrum.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually more interesting than cat pictures. But
Yeah. Not that I'm so much a midget porn fan. I'm more of a cat hater. But,
yeah, I'm more of a nugget. I'm more of a nugget
please
porn type of
continue.
person. But
Yeah.
no, but yeah, I mean, but every time it comes up, I think it's just you get these people who think that they can have a one pill fix for everything. We're going to throw one little antidote at it, and it's just going to fix everything.
Yeah, for one, I mean, let's say they ban all scary-looking rifles, all even semi-automatic, all AR-15s. Let's say that. Okay, you ban them all. You don't manufacture them all in America anymore. Hey, what are you gonna do with all the ones out there already? You think people are gonna just bring them into gun collections? Like, hey, well, that's the law now.
Right,
That's
and then
bullshit.
you know what they'll start doing?
I'm not even doing that. I'm a law-abiding citizen.
They'll start manufacturing them in some third world nation somewhere.
Exactly. It's just going to create a huge black market.
And then all of a sudden, you're still going to see them in the U.S. And then,
Yeah,
then
it's
the
gonna
funny
create
thing
criminals
is,
out of law-abiding citizens that were.
is the only
stick
people who will have
before.
them then is the people who shouldn't have them.
Absolutely.
I mean, you really run this like mad circle. It's like what came first, the chicken or the egg? So it's like, what do we do? If we get rid of all guns, and who has guns? All bad people have guns. But then if we let guns be legal, well, then good people have guns. But then so do bad people. Well, then at least the good people can defend themselves. Or do we just take it away from the law-abiding citizens and say, well, you're just fucked? Well, and the cops will protect you. I'm sorry, the cops are a reactionary force. They're not a preventative force. They're preventative in the sense that they may get you and you go to jail, but they're not going to stop that initial reaction. They're not going to be right there where you want them at that time. It was like what happened at Aldi's over here the other day. The cops weren't sitting in Aldi's waiting for this guy to try to rob the store, and luckily some guy who who knew what he was doing subdued the guy. I don't know. Did the guy have a weapon? I know he said he did,
He said he did.
but it might have been one of those things where he's got his finger in the pocket saying, give me
Right.
your money kind of shit. Luckily it wasn't me, because I would have drawn a gun and stuck it to his head and would have said, fuck you. I wouldn't have killed him, but but as a law-abiding citizen, I'm not going to pull it and rob a store. But at the same time, if somebody was to do shit like that, yeah, I'd pull a weapon on him and be like, no, sit the fuck down. And then you wait till the cops get there to arrest him. But the cops aren't there at that moment in time to prevent what was going on.
I'm not even defending it just for protection purposes. There's a lot of recreation that goes
yeah.
on that's based around guns.
Shooting cans is fun.
Yeah.
It is. It's fun.
It's a fun activity. It's fun to see how good it's good. It's a good skill to hone.
Yeah.
How good can I shoot? How can I shoot from this position? How
It's
can I shoot from
hand-eye
that
coordination.
position? Yeah. It's a fun skill. I mean, it's in the Olympics. There's
Well, I know it used
competitive
to
shooting.
be-
I know that.
Yeah,
At least that much on a
competitive shooting's a big thing.
like I think on the world level. I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Maybe not Olympics. I know there's at least archery in Olympics, but
I know
no
there used
one's
to
trying
be-
to take the bows.
I know
No
they
one's
used-
trying to take guns.
I think there used to
anyway,
be
but,
like skeet shooting, but you know how the Olympics is. You know, it may not be PC or whatever it is, so they had to get rid of it, type of thing.
I'd like to go on record really quick, and I was camping when I guess all this is on record. I was camping when I found out about the Vegas thing, and like one of the first things I saw was Hillary Rodham Clinton saying, you know, we got to pray, blah blah blah, yada yada, and not a time to politicize things. And then the next paragraph, she goes into this vote that's coming up about suppressors or silencers, whatever you want to call them. And I just want to go on record to say I think she's a huge fucking bitch.
Well,
That's all I want to say. It's just a fucking really bitchy fucking thing to do. Bunch of people
think-
just whole family and life got wrecked.
Let me
and
stop
you
you
do
there.
some dumb shit like that.
It took you this long to think she's a bitch?
No, I just took
You
me
just put it on record.
took me that long to want to say it on a
Okay.
podcast.
Well, I've said it many times for many years. Lady's
Yeah.
shady as shit, but yeah, and she's a cunt.
Yeah, I give what fucking politician isn't.
Well, no,
I like Rand Paul. I think he seems all right.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, well, that whole suppressor thing, like I was telling you earlier, you know, it's funny here in America, they're like, oh, you know, the suppressors,
Right.
I want them to take, like, let's just say an
What's
AR.
the word silencer? They call it a fucking silence. It's not a fucking.
It's not a
It doesn't
silencer.
silence shit. It suppresses some of the sound.
And I
It's a suppressor.
wish the NRA or one of these groups, you know, I'm not a big NRA fan.
I'm not
I
either.
like guns, and I'm not even a big
bad as
fan
fucking
of the
Big Pharma to
because it's
me.
just a big organization of people, you know,
Yep.
swinging their dick around is all it is. They're not really doing a whole lot for anything.
They're big pharma. They just kill a few less people.
Yeah, you know, they're the
Fighting
thing,
for something else.
the thing is that, you know, I want them to put an ad up there of a guy shooting an unsuppressed, say, AK-47 or an unsuppressed, like, say, 308 or something, you know, a larger rifle, like what was
With a bump stock.
with a bump. We'll get into the bump stock, but with you know, versus a suppressed one, and show them how fucking loud it actually is. It's not like in the movies. It's so far from in the movies where it's like, oh, I got this 50 caliber Barrett, and I'm gonna put this big can on the end of it, and I'm gonna shoot it, and nobody's gonna hear shit. Bullshit. You could put that suppressor on there. Yeah, it's going to knock it down a couple decibels, but guess what? Everybody in the neighborhood's still going to fucking hear it.
Yeah.
It's just not going to shake their windows, but they're going to hear boom. I mean, they need to separate myth from reality
The
here.
whole crowd that is so gung ho about making more regulations on guns, experience of guns come from the
They
fucking
have none.
movies.
They have none.
It's from the movies.
And then, you know, like the thing within Europe, you know, like I know, like especially like in Great Britain, if you're going to shoot, they want you to have a suppressor on your weapon. That's one of the most gun-controlled countries in the world. You know, one of the top gun-controlled countries in the world. And they said, well, if you have a license to shoot, you need to have a suppressor.
Right.
Okay, so why is this massively gun-controlled country going, no, you need to put a suppressor on your firearm, go versus us, who is like supposedly, you know, freedom to own arms and stuff like that, going, can't have a suppressor. And then if you want one, oh yeah, you got to go then get applied for it, and you got to go do this, and then you got to pay the
I'm not even gonna do it.
tax,
Yeah,
tax
right.
because that's the money revenue issue of it, the $300 stamp tax, and you know, bullshit like that. And you're just like, when is somebody going to wake up and just go, listen, this is what fantasy is, this is what reality is. Listen, people, you know, this is how it really works, and this is how it doesn't work.
Like
you know?
every other issue, you gotta cancel out the people on the far left and the far right, gather us people in the middle and have
Yeah.
a reasonable conversation about it.
Yeah, I can't.
That's the only thing you can do, and that's every issue in America.
You know.
And it just doesn't happen these days.
No, there is too much politicizing of everything to the point where you don't know myth from reality.
Right.
Like the bump stock issue.
Yeah, oh, Jesus
okay, so yeah,
Christ.
let's get onto the bump stock with this guy. You know,
Explain what a bump stock is.
okay, what a bump stock is it's a stock that actually
It's the part that goes against your shoulder.
It goes
there.
against your shoulder, and it uses the recoil of it to actually help you trigger the weapon in a more rapid succession. There's a trade-off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll make you fire it faster, but you're going to be flinging shit everywhere.
Right.
Like it's not an accurate method. No automatic weapon is accurate. That's why even to this day in war, a lot of guys don't when the soldiers go out, they're not using full auto most of the time. They're using, either like a short burst fire, which is
Right, yeah.
or they're using single shot because they can get an accurate result if they're trying to aim for a target. You go full auto on anything, and then
You're full auto when you're dropping some cover fire or something
right,
like that.
yeah, when you're just trying to make everybody duck, run for cover, yeah, that's when full auto works. You're just trying to just spray bullets out there and you're doing stuff. But, when you have and then you get to that's a full auto weapon. Then when you get to a bump stock, you're using the recoil of the gun to make you shoot faster kind of thing, not inside the contained mechanism, inside the slide and stuff like that,
Right.
but you're actually using your body as the
Whereas a regular stock, the recoil is just going to go. It's not. There's not going to have any extra. I don't know how to explain. I don't even know why I try to explain shit.
Yeah, but and so you're going to start jerking around with this bump stock. You couldn't hit shit, and especially from that distance. Yeah, I'm not saying he wouldn't have if he was using a bump stock, and he was sitting up there shooting out of that window. I'm not saying he wouldn't have hit people.
Oh, and to a crowd,
Because of how crowded it was, and he's just randomly spraying rounds in there. He's going to hit people. The fact that he managed to hit 50 some odd people, or kill 50 some odd people, and hit a whole bunch others with this bump stock, to me was just I'm looking at it going. And then how fast supposedly he was shooting off rounds with a bump stock. And I've watched videos of guys who are world-renowned guys trying to use these things or whatever it is. And the faster they try to go, the less, and the thing just starts jerking all over the place, and it's another one of those little, we're going to put this out here to make it look like it's worse than it is.
Right.
The bump stock's so bad.
Yeah, they're terrible. They have regular legislation starting. Are they going to write?
Now they're going
to.
to.
You know what, guys? You can have the fucking bump stocks.
Yeah, really, they suck anyway.
No fucking real gun guy uses that shit.
No.
The assholes who just want to pop off a bunch of rounds and they take those fucking things.
Yeah, I mean, really, they have no.
You can have them.
They're more of a novelty.
Yeah.
They really are. They're more of a novelty. I'm going to shoot a whole bunch of rounds and melt my barrel, warp the barrel on my AR, so I'm going to put a bump stock on there, and by the time I run through a 100-round canister, I've warped the barrel because I have a non-military grade AR.
Yeah, because I got the stock barrel on there, and it's you could cook
Yeah,
bacon on it right now.
If I was to take my DPMS out there and put a bump stock on it, the barrel would just go, within 50 rounds.
Yeah, mine gets hot after 15 rounds.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think there's. I just think where there's a will, there's a way, and we're always trying to work on the way instead of the will.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because a bomb could have been much more destructive.
Yeah.
You could have took down a
Well,
fucking building with a
supposedly they
bomb.
were talking about there's some link with him behind explosives and something or whatever it is.
That
So
thing's
this
just a
guy,
whole
this guy
shady
looks like
ball
there
of
was
shit.
nothing that was going to stop this guy, whether bump stocks were outlawed, whether he had a full auto or not, or whatever it is. It seems like this guy, if it was this guy, so I'm throwing that out there.
Non-conspiracy theorists aren't throwing that one out on this.
Because this is such a strange, bizarre, like nothing makes sense about whatever has come out of law enforcement and the government and
What
everything
has
that.
has more cameras than a Vegas casino? It's not a
Yeah.
joke or anything. Nothing, man.
No.
Nothing. Maybe there's something, but fuck. If you've ever been to Vegas, man, you're being watched the whole fucking
maybe
time.
a governmental complex, maybe, possibly, maybe, and even them sometimes.
I don't know. I don't know. What are they protecting there? Politicians, big deal. They're protecting money here.
Yeah, Well, that's what I don't understand is when these guys go shoot up crowds of people. Go to Capitol Hill and start mowing them
shit,
down.
do us a
Jesus
favor.
Christ, if you're gonna be a jack off, at least make it count, man.
Yeah. First off, try not to do it. Second, go to fucking.
Yeah, I'm not endorsing shooting people. I'm not. I'm just saying.
I just want to say, but if you're going to make it a. Never
Not that I'm
never
recommending
mind.
it.
You never know who's going to get
I
hold
just
of this
never
podcast,
understood
Mike.
when people are. No, I just never understood.
We might have a
when
very
these-
special guest next time.
Yeah, right. No, I just never understood when these people are really angry at a system or whatever it is, and they just go shoot the people who are not really part of the system, or they're just as much of puppets in the system as everybody else. They never go after the people that they're supposedly lashing out at.
Right.
And you're just like, okay, number one, what you're doing is stupid. Why are you killing people? And then number two, you're defeating your cause by shooting just random people that were just going to a country concert. That's all they were fucking doing. Leave them alone.
Right.
And then if you want to kill yourself, like, so let's say this guy did it and then killed himself, do me a favor, kill yourself first.
Yeah.
Leave everybody else alone.
Yeah, that'd be nice. So from a non-gun person's perspective, what does it look like on the outside looking in, Billy? Like, the whole gun control thing, does it look just like every other issue, or it's kind of like, okay, there's these people screaming, and you're not really hearing any reasonable talk?
I've never shot a gun in my life, but I don't think
We can change that.
I know we can, and you try all the time. But I don't.
fun.
I don't think you should take guns away from people. I mean, I'm not. That's not.
Yeah, it's not going to help.
It has nothing. I don't know. I've never shot one.
We should be beating the shit out of each other with clubs.
Right.
Yeah.
And like you said, explosives. I mean, there's other ways. There's
Yeah.
other ways.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is if there's a will, there's a way.
Right.
Uh-oh. Don and Mom's home from the casino. They were hitting the slots today.
Uh-oh.
Watch out. She won like $600 the other day.
Really?
Yeah. Then I followed up with like a $400 day. I think she's secretly playing craps.
Nobody wins that much.
I
Slot
know.
machines.
I know, she's crazy. Oh, is he out of here and I'm going to say hi? Well, fuck you, Don.
What time did they leave? It's 11 o'clock. They're back to the...
Don's not even going to say hi? All right, sorry, I forgot we're recording here.
He's his grandson on his way to his house.
You want to say hi to everybody, Mom? Everybody's like 6 people.
I can't get in front of it.
You're fine.
Okay. Yeah, no, like I said, this whole, like I said, and then they trout out, gun control, gun control, gun control, gun control, like right out of the gate. And people make stupid comments, And I know last thing I was thinking about when the whole thing happened was I wasn't thinking pro-gun or anti-gun. I was just going, why did this happen?
Yeah.
Like you're just
Yeah.
going, I felt bad for all the people and all the people. It just was such a senseless, mindless, and you're just like I'm like, I don't even care about that stuff right now. But they got those people who just, it serves their agenda, so they use somebody else's misfortune to further their agenda. And it's like, geez, you can talk about shitty. I mean, yeah.
Heard about some comment, I don't know if she was some kind of government official in some capacity or not, but said something like, it's not a big deal that happened because it was at a country concert.
It was
because-
it was an executive at CBS. And
Oh, yes, yes.
And she did it on Twitter, and they promptly fired her.
Okay. So what was the quote? Do you remember?
She's like, well, it doesn't matter anyways because it was a country concert. And most country people are Trump supporters, so it's
Yeah.
not a loss or anything like something to that effect.
Yes.
How does that like?
Enter your mind.
How does that even? What the fuck? What?
Because
What?
it's the whole political climate now. It's so polarized, and it's such. We have 2 religions in this country. We have Republicans and Democrats. They're religions. They're people who are see and believe, or not see and believe. Just believe. Don't do any research for yourself. Listen to what your religion's telling you. It's like the Muslims. When they do their stuff, or it's like the hardcore crazy Christians when they do their stuff, or it's like when any other religious group gets together and they have very extreme views. Listen to me. I know the way. I have the truth,
Right.
whether it is or not.
So our politicians are prophets, huh?
Yeah, and so you have these political parties. Our way is the best way. We have the truth. We know the truth. The other one says the same thing. So this side sides with this because this one wants free birth control and I don't want to have to pay for my birth control. And the other side says we want to give subsidies to big corporations because big corporations are great. Oh, I like corporations and I think it's great or whatever it may be. And you hang on to one little dangly from that and then you start subscribing to that. And then it's just like being in a cult. The farther you get into it, the more you start believing all their other bullshit. And then finally you become a thing where you actually believe that the other side is the ultimate evil enemy, even though they may not be, or if anybody has an opposing view for you, it reminds me of like the Christian fundamentalist groups, like say Westboro Baptist Church, that them nut jobs, Everybody else is going to hell because they don't believe. Doesn't matter whether these people hate Westboro Baptist Church or are bad people or anything like that or have anything against them. They're going to hell because you're not us. Mm-hmm. And so this is what our political system's turned into. Where so you got the Democrats, you're all bad people and Hitlers and whatever it may be because you don't agree with me and what I believe in and what my party believes in. No. And then the same thing with Republicans. All the Democrats are just stupid assholes and a bunch of mindless boobs and whatever it may be.
Right.
Because
everybody wants something for nothing.
You're not in our group.
Right.
No, that's not the way it works. That's not the way any of this works. But like I said, it's turned into two religious sects, is really what it's turned into. Extreme religious sects, too, where they're just all fucking crazy.
Yeah,
It's like fundamentalist
upsetting.
religion. I mean, fundamentalist politics. You know, where they're just, they got their Bibles, you know, at the hands of the DNC or the RNC, maybe.
Right.
There.
I don't get it. I don't see how anyone can subscribe to Democrat or Republican. I mean,
I
are there
don't
not
either.
views
They both-
on both
they're both
sides that
shit.
you agree with and disagree with? I mean,
They're both shit. They all run in either lockstep or they're all out for themselves. I mean, just believing a politician at any given point in time is a fool's errand on your part, because these people are in it for themselves. They're in it to get what they want to get out. Why can a politician go in making, like, say he's a guy, he has, you know, maybe he's rather wealthy, you know, small businessman or whatever it is, but not like making piss tons of money by any stretch of the means, goes into office with, say, net worth of $1 million. You know, he has a company, he has a nice house, a nice car, and, you know, whatever it is. Then he gives up his business, goes into politics, but then somehow manages to come out 4 years later with a net worth of $60 million and hasn't done shit for 4 years. Wait, how does that work? But your salary, supposedly, even salaries, why we're even paying politicians is another thing. But, you know, he has a salary of, like, you know what, $180,000 a year being a senator or whatever it is. Well, let me see here. Let me do the math. Over 4 years at $180,000, that sure as hell doesn't amount to $60 million. Where'd the rest of it come from? Oh, little kickbacks here, little things here from lobbyists, because it was all about themselves. So to believe a politician is going to be some honest, virtuous shit.
mostly it was a no-bid contracts and voting buys.
Yeah,
that's what it was
it's
mostly. Most of the 60 million.
You're deluding yourself if you think that's what is going on. This guy's in it to help the country or do the right thing. And there may be a couple of them. There's always, but for the most part, people who want power and people who want the grandiose thing, they want to be that like pinnacle of attention whore and pinnacle of power. What are they going to run to? What profits them the most? Going into government. You can boss 325 million people around doing it. You can make a shit ton of money by stealing from 325 million people.
And you can set yourself up real nice for afterwards.
And you can set yourself up. And so
Don't give me anything now, but let's do this little contract where I get these 4 speaking engagements for, half a million each.
right, and you just, so that's why I don't trust a politician. Even he can come out and say everything he may say, I agree with him. Let's just say there's a politician I agree 100% with. The guy's just completely lockstep with me. I'm still going, no, you got another agenda going on.
I think there's good local ones. But those are usually the ones that never get in.
Yeah.
Or get voted out after one.
Or
oh,
get
shit.
voted out after one, yeah.
You want to do something beneficial that's not attractive politically? Whoops.
These guys are masters of manipulation.
Absolutely.
So like I said, with
That's
this
why
whole-
I marvel at them sometimes. Everybody's like, "Oh, these politicians are so stupid." I'm like, "You're stupid. They're fucking geniuses.
That's why this.
They're working over how many millions of people."
But that's why, like with the gun control debate, so to wrap back to that.
Let's get back to that.
Like with this, it's just a money-making, agenda-driven thingamajobber that they got going on, that they're going to make money off of whatever group who is on their side. Even though it's not going to solve anything. It doesn't solve shit. It's
No.
not going to do anything.
Never
It
will.
really, at the end of the day,
Our
it's-
violence problem is an unsolvable problem.
Because it,
We're fucking programmed to be violent. Now that kind of violence is that's some bad programming there. But
we've had worse violent people. We've had Stalins and Maos and Hitlers and Pol Pots and stuff like that. So, I mean, to believe that you're just going to go, we're going to outlaw guns and the world's going to be all rainbows and fucking unicorns.
but Australia did it, and they haven't had a mass shooting since. Well, guess what? Australia has about as many fucking people in it as one of our states, probably one of our larger cities.
Well, and they have...
And it's a completely different
But
mentality.
they still have a lot of violent crime, a lot of knife crime, and
Sure.
a lot of, rape crime and stuff like
I'm
that.
still, I hate that comparison, though. Like, this place does it. Well, like, that's that place. That's that place doesn't have 3 million or 300 million guns, right? Guess what?
But really, if you
It's
look
totally
at,
different mentality, totally
who
different
has
culture.
a higher rate of murder but has higher gun control? Russia. Russia has very strict
How many
gun
of that
controls and stuff like that. And they
state-sanctioned murder?
They have a higher murder per capita rate than the U.S. does.
How many of that's Putin pointing fingers, though? Man, you guys need to watch this this really quick. this Icarus movie on Netflix. It's about doping, and it just blows the lid off of fucking like pretty much everybody in the Olympics is doping. I think
Oh yeah,
it's really cool. It has nothing to do with gun control.
dude,
but-
it's like baseball in the '90s.
Yeah, the
Anybody-
Russian guy that's
Yeah.
a main subject, and like
Yeah.
he's in protective custody and shit now. And I mean, because I'm sure Putin wants him dead.
Oh, yeah,
for blowing
probably.
open state-sanctioned fucking doping.
Putin's not a nice guy. He looks out for his own country, but he's not a nice guy.
Yeah, he'd beat the shit out of our president in a fist fight, though. I think.
Dude, he is
Yeah, that picture of him on the horse with no shirt on.
Yeah,
Whoa.
I ain't fucking with that. I know some crazy martial arts and
The
shit.
dude is a man's man. Like he is like that guy. He'll go out in the rough and actually whatever it is. Yeah, and it was funny when you saw him with
like,
Obama.
I won
Obama had these
steak.
fucking
I
mom
go
jeans
kill
on
deer.
and stuff like that, and Putin's like, "I must break you." You know, I mean, I'm just like, yeah, world leaders here. Yeah, theirs has got some balls. Ours is a pussy.
Ours is a blob of fucking fuck.
Now we got
It's a
the
reality star.
now we
I
got-
think it's a big, it's like a big fuck you though.
and now we got an orange hair.
It's like we're gonna vote this guy in because it's so
screaming.
bad because we don't want the next fucking set up fucking made man or made woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here? You think? I don't think any. What do you think will actually get done? In gun
Nothing.
control? I
What?
think nothing. You
I
think
don't
if they? I think if they ban
Some token-
bump stocks, I'm just gonna have so much fun trolling like my gun sites on Facebook, like the people who actually wanted those pieces of shit.
There's going to be
so
some
fucking
token. There's
lame.
going to be some token legislation. So they're going to ban some weird, like I said, like a bump stock, or they're going to ban some stupid shit. And you know what the funny thing is, you know what?
Pass suppressor. Let's
Well,
let me go to the store and buy one of them.
That'll
motherfuckers.
still go. That'll still go. I bet you dime to a dollar, that's still going to go. That'll still get repealed. Like that, I just have this feeling that'll get repealed because they know that's really just a stupid legislation.
The only reason it wouldn't because they wouldn't make the revenue off of it.
Right. But if they can make up the revenue by not banning bump stocks, but classing them like they did suppressors, where you had to get the stamp tax and you got to get the thingamajobber and stuff like that. And two, with the
Wait
whole
a
thing,
fucking year.
and then the whole thing is
Longer.
that they're going to be like, oh, we're going to ban bump stocks, or they'll always threaten to ban them. So people will go out and buy them and pay the tax stamp and stuff like that to get these things because they're always going to be under the threat that they're going to ban them. They're not going to do shit. They're going to have some token legislation with bump stocks.
And I know that to be fucking true because that's the reason why I'm so damn pissed off about the talk of gun control. Because what happens, the fucking idiots who actually think that they're going to come take guns go up and buy all this shit and it drives prices up.
Yeah.
Like, I waited to buy my AR until fucking Trump got in office because I knew fucking gun prices being an all-time low. And guess what? I got it on a fucking great deal.
Yeah.
Now gun prices are going to soar.
Yeah,
again.
now
Not
you-
that I need anything.
Now you
but,
can get
know.
22 ammo again. Yay! Because it was always funny too with the 22 ammo stuff. Was like 22 is like the biggest shit can ammo on the face of the earth. It's some of the funnest shit to
Oh,
shoot
yeah.
because
I have my
it's
22
like,
in my trunk right now.
but going out and thinking you're
Since we have
gonna.
video, should we bring a gun? Should I go get a gun? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
But for 22, like you're not gonna go do a mass shooting with 22, yeah, because it's
You could, but it's just gonna.
You're gonna
what
piss.
the
You're
fuck?
gonna piss more
You get
people
your ass
off than you're
kicked by
gonna
the
kill.
first
type of
5
thing.
people you shoot with it.
Yeah, especially from any
What
kind
the?
of
Is that a
distance.
bee?
Especially from any kind of distance, it's gonna be like hitting with a pellet. But
22 long hollow point. You hit the person in the right spot though.
well, you can hit somebody with a pellet in the right spot and kill them. But what I'm saying is like, yeah, that. And I remember you just couldn't get 22 ammo in there. I'm like, this is retarded. Like this.
22. What we're talking about is the caliber of the bullet.
They're
Basically,
tiny.
The diameter of the bullet.
little.
Yeah, they're very small. So when you hear like 22, 38, 44, that's basically just the diameter of the bullet. Is that right? That diameter? Of the
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So
then
to all those people who are screaming right now, those 5 people that are liberals that are hard like for gun control that hate us right now. I know you don't know what the fuck the calibers mean and everything, so we'll try to do a little gun education throughout as well. Some loose gun education.
yeah.
So yeah, that's it. I was thinking my AR, it shoots a 223 or 5.56, not a big bullet.
No, it's almost the same size as 22. It's just.
But if I put
it's
that
a
next
little
to
bit
my
longer, it has a lot
30-06
better charge behind it.
If I put that next to my hunting gun, the 30-06, much more deadly bullet. And also, it's semi-automatic, so I think it's got 8 rounds I can put into it.
Mhm.
It's much more deadly gun
Oh,
than
yeah.
the AR. But if you show the lay person, they're going to pick out the AR every time because it's a tactical.
If somebody asked me if I was to get shot with if I had to get shot Like, you know, like say somebody, they said, you know, if you had to be shot in, like, say, the leg or the arm with either a
We're not going to do this, are we?
no,
okay,
God, no,
okay.
but like an AR, like a 223, or a shotgun, which everybody's like, oh, we don't need to regulate shotguns, whatever it is. Guess what I'm going to choose every time?
Depends how far away I am.
The 223.
If I'm 100 yards away, load up that shotgun,
Well,
son. No slugs.
Well, no, what I'm saying is I'd rather get shot with 223. You know why? Because this is going to go straight through, in and out.
Yeah.
You get hit with a slug out of a shotgun,
You fucked.
oh, fuck that. Your arm's gone. Your arm's just going to be hanging there. So, you know, like I said, the whole, nobody knows about the
Well, it's
whole.
all about the rate of fire. It's all about the rate of fire.
Yeah, well, we'll all go get bump stocks and see how that works.
Yeah, right. No, there'll be a lot more accidental fucking injuries with those fucking
There'll
guys.
be a lot more tree limbs laying in people's yards.
Shit. Accidental dead squirrels.
Yeah.
Poor
Oh,
bastards.
shit, yeah.
Maybe we should clip these on, take the video out, and go shoot the AR. Get Billy shooting his first time. I'm just kidding.
I'd have
have
to
no
bring,
desire
I'd have
to
to
do
bring
that.
the GoPro or whatever.
Blow out the neighborhood, get the cops called.
Well,
What do you think?
I think that's quite good. I think we've said our
We've
piece.
said our piece. We've said our stance.
Yep.
I'm fine with it. Well, anything else we need to cover?
No.
Write us. Tell us. Wait, wait. Do you want to give out the address of the studio, or can we do it electronically these days? You think? I
Electronically.
think we have a Facebook page. I think we have like 97 followers. So
We have a Twitter.
one of you fuckers have listened. One of you guys have an opinion. Tell us about it, and then we'll talk about your opinion. Maybe have you on the show.
Yep. So you can get us on Twitter at, what is it? I think it's Mike's with Mike's podcast on Twitter.
I don't know. The Mikes with Mikes, just Mikes with Mikes is something else. So you got to go a little
But
bit.
if you look up Mike's with Mike's on Twitter, it'll show up. So, and we're also on Facebook, and we're on YouTube. Mike's with Mike's on YouTube, and on iTunes, and on Stitcher. Mike's with Mike's podcast.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
I like
All
it.
right, take it easy, people.
Later,
Love you
folks.
guys.